That's why he recused himself. And yet he inserted himself in this firing. Finally, Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein's memo, which asserts that Director Comey's handling of the Clinton email investigation caused the public to lose confidence in the Bureau. Mr. President, Director Comey spoke publicly about the Clinton email investigation twice, in July and October of last year. Now, setting aside whether Director Comey's decision to discuss the investigation was unorthodox or broke with Justice Department and FBI protocols, his actions were well known to both President Trump and Attorney General Sessions, and both of them celebrated his actions at the time. After Director Comey wrote to Congress on October 28th informing us that the FBI had discovered additional emails and would therefore reopen its investigation into Secretary Clinton, then candidate Trump praised his decision. He said that, quote, what Comey did was the right thing, and that, quote, it took guts for Director Comey to make the move that he made in light of the kind of opposition he had, unquote. Appearing on Fox Business Network, then Senator Sessions said that Director Comey, quote, had an absolute duty, in my opinion, 11 days before an election or not, to come forward with the new information that he has and let the American people know that too, unquote. So, Mr. President, if President Trump or Attorney General Sessions truly objected to the way that Director Comey conducted the investigation into Secretary Clinton's emails, I suspect they would have said so at the time rather than heap praise upon him. But their previous statements lauding Director Comey's handling of the Clinton email probe cast suspicion on the extent to which they relied on the Deputy Attorney General's purported rationale. Further, and this is important, if Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein were truly concerned that Director Comey's handling of the Clinton email investigation had damaged the reputation of the Bureau, then why not wait for the conclusion of an investigation by the very respected DOJ Inspector General into Comey's decision during the election, his decisions, an investigation that had been underway since January. Mr. President, the shifting positions of President Trump and Attorney General Sessions lead me to believe something else is going on here. That this is not about Hillary Clinton's emails, but about turning the page on Russia. In fact, last night, a White House spokesman said so. Appearing on Fox News, White House Deputy Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders was asked how Director Comey's firing would affect the Russia investigation. She replied, quote, when are they going to let that go? It's been going on for nearly a year. Frankly, it's getting kind of absurd. There's nothing there. It's time to move on. Frankly, it's time to focus on things the American people care about, unquote. Mr. President, the American people care about whether a hostile foreign government influenced our election. And they care about whether advisors and associates to the president helped that foreign government do that. The events that occurred over the past 24 hours are deeply, deeply unsettling. As my Republican colleague, Senator Flake, said last night, quote, "I've spent the last several hours trying to find an acceptable rationale for the timing of Comey's firing. I just can't do it," unquote. And I can't either. In my view, the timing and circumstances surrounding Director Comey's dismissal are very, very suspicious. For example, just this morning it was reported that Director Comey recently asked the Justice Department to provide additional resources for the Russian investigation, a request that reportedly he made personally to Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein. This raises grave concerns about the Trump Justice Department's ability to conduct a full, fair, and impartial investigation. And in order to address these concerns, Attorney General Sessions and Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein should come to the Senate and explain their involvement to all the senators in this body. And in the wake of what I believe was a politically motivated decision to remove Director Comey, I no longer have confidence that the Department of Justice can fulfill its obligation to resolve this matter impartially. The situation now calls very clearly for the appointment of a special prosecutor to oversee the investigation into associates of the Trump Organization or former members of the Trump campaign had knowledge of or participated in the Russian attack on our democracy. I join my colleagues' calls for an independent inquiry so that the American people can have confidence that the individuals who conduct this investigation will follow the facts no matter where they lead. Thank you, Mr. President.